Some people requested me to talk about a few topics, so this is a compilation of it. And firstly, I'll talk about fighting and violence. Fighting, from my experience, usually results when somebody is closed up to something that happens, whatever that may be. If it's little things such as somebody calling you words, then you should probably think about what it is that makes you close up, because words are words. If it's something more like somebody actually attacking you, then that's of course a different kind of situation. And even if it's more extreme things and you could actually end up potentially dying, it still means that you're closed up to the option of dying. So what then some people may do is close their fist, which is you showing you that you are closed up to this option, and then react in some way with this fist. People, if you look at anybody nowadays, are closed up and shove it. And there's many things. I'll just name two, such as most people having their mouths closed. Just look at people around you, likely you will realize that most people walk around like this, which is for me actually quite hard to do. It seems so unnatural, and it just opens up by itself again. But there's many reasons for this. One thing, of course, never actually breathing in as we should deeply, especially when you're out in nature. And showing your emotions, expressing yourself, etc., etc., etc. And another thing, this, which is of course quite popular and many have heard about it, but that's another thing. When something happens, you close up and do this. So, of course, if you are very strongly built or work out, train in some way, or simply have very strong bones, which is the same thing as strongly built, that's what I mean, then doing such things as fighting in this popular, modern, but quite a natural way is possible. You can achieve something, whatever it is you may want to. So hitting with your fist could be an option then, but it's quite a joke, actually. If anything, then you should be using your legs, which most people have them way stronger, just how it is by nature. But besides all of that, what I want to talk about quite simply is what one would do by nature, what we have been programmed to. What do animals do? What do people do when they don't see a way out, if they haven't been conditioned very strongly? Is of course to use this, is to bite. Some may not have strong teeth or very sharp teeth, but I of course cannot say what I would do in some kind of situation like that, but if I would do anything and I would be in a situation where I would want to get out, and that would be through using my body physically, I would of course bite them. Likely somewhere in the neck, bite a chunk out of them, or whatever it's called, and so the blood flows if that's possible. But even if my teeth weren't strong enough and sharp enough, it would still shock them in a way that would likely get me out of the situation. And that's not something that people expect. That's why it shocks, because usually everywhere it says no biting and so on, because biting is the natural way of defending yourself essentially, and all of this modern stuff is quite a joke. The last three are fashion, intelligence, and emotions. Not much I'm going to say about fashion, but one thing I noticed this summer is while wearing usually sandals and shorts when it was quite warm, is that in this worldview of most people who have been conditioned nowadays in the system, it does not fit in those shapes and colors that they see. The natural body if you want to actually go against the system, you would have to wear as little clothes as possible and take this off, and not wear a lot of dark clothing as many do, or dye their hair dark or the punk rock uniform, as the song goes. All of it is still part of the system. It is what is accepted. If you want to provoke people and make them think, etc., then take it off. Intelligence is of course usually a joke nowadays. Not really talked about it, and what knowledge actually is, and all of it is confused. One thing I've noticed is that same as it is with beauty, it's a thing purely physically talking that also traps the intelligence as it's seen with the brain, which is also all very arguable. And IQ tests, for example, you would have to actually usually nowadays learn a language to be able to do them, which is a joke, because intelligence comes naturally, so it would have to be tested in a natural way, obviously. Somebody has said that that's beauty. If you're able to hear it, that's beauty. They said that intelligence is when somebody is able to survive in nature, or how much they're capable of doing, and that's, if anything, that's what it is. Whew. The last one now, emotions. Emotions, I've talked about a lot already, of course, but just to say the obvious, emotions are what are expressed by the body because of what the soul feels. Feelings are spiritual emotions are physical and visible. Of course, because somebody feels something, I shouldn't say somebody because that refers to the body, but if a soul feels something, it does not mean that the body is actually going to represent it, depending on how much the body has been conditioned to act in a certain way, as we see nowadays with the brainwashing. But what I want to say is what I talked about already and explained very clearly about the positive and negative thing, and that all emotions simply are, because all feelings also simply are, because the soul is capable of feeling everything. So therefore the emotions that come out are all obviously also, they all simply are. They are not to be categorized. So let them all out freely.